to do with my upcoming wedding. Do you know how much you'll be giving us to pay for it?
What? How much I'll be giving you?
At the very least, I'm hoping for $10,000. No, wait, $20,000 from you. If that's how much you'll be giving me, then we can keep things the way they've been planned out.
Now hold on just a second there. You're asking for me to give you $20,000 for your guys' wedding?
I plan to give a really fun wedding with all of my friends there. But we're going to need a pretty big wedding venue to do something like that, right? I also want the decorations to be gorgeous, which is going to cost me a pretty penny, I think. But that's why I'm wanting you to give me some decent financial help here.
$20,000 is way more than you should be asking for. I plan on giving you guys a far more understandable amount for your wedding present, okay?
What? You're giving me that money as a present and not as a support for the wedding itself? You should be separating the two for me. I don't mind you giving us money as a gift as well, but when it comes to the cost of our wedding, I'd like you to try a little harder to give us a larger amount of money.
What did you just say? I'll have you know that I don't plan on paying for you guys' wedding.
What?
I'm not supporting you guys financially, alright? I plan to give you guys money as a present, and that's all.
Then what's going to happen to my wedding? Both of us plan on inviting close to 100 friends alone. If we don't have the money to pay for a decent wedding venue, then we won't be able to invite them all.
You really plan on inviting that many people?
I just told you, I want all my friends here to celebrate with me. At the very least, there will be 100 of them. And if anything more than that should be coming,
I don't care how many people you guys want to invite because that is going to be your wedding. But when it comes to your wedding, it should be based around how much you both have saved up for it, and not around what others are willing to give you money-wise. If you can't afford to get a larger wedding venue with the savings that you have, then you're just not going to be able to afford it. You've had plenty of time to save up for an event like this, so you should have been thinking about that whole time how much money you'd need.
Huh? So you're telling me to just give up on having all my friends here at my gorgeous wedding that I have planned? A wedding is something that only happens once in everyone's lifetime. You're telling me to give up on the dreams I've had for a while now?
If you don't want to give up on them, then you'd rather find a way to get yourself some more money. And if you're saying you don't want to give up on it, but also don't want to pay for it, then you're just being a selfish child.
So your cheap old butt is going to preach to me about it? Are you trying to harass me now?
What?
If you're not even going to give me any money, then I don't want to listen to your annoying preaching anymore. By the way, it's insane that you're not going to give us any money at all for this wedding. Devon is your oldest son, right? This is the wedding of your oldest son, so it's normal for the parents to have to pay for everything.
I'm sure things in the past were that way. But in this day and age, I'm past all that ceremonial crap. This household isn't some well-off group of famous people.
But Devon is an executive director already, when he's still so young. He is one of the most important people in your family that you should be boasting around. Yet you're not even going to be supporting him in his wedding? I cannot believe this. Could this really be you trying to harass me now?
Excuse me?
You hate me and that's why you won't give me the money, right? I can't believe that in this day and age, there's still someone who enjoys picking on their son's wife. I never thought of you of all people, Madison, would be willing to do such a ruthless thing. If that's the way you want to act now, then I have something for you. Don't expect either one of us to be there for you in your old age to care for you.
I never expected either one of you to be there for me. Now, Kyrie, would you please calm down already? I have not been trying to harass you in any way.
Then give me the dang money I've been asking for. You should be more than capable of handing over $20,000, right? If you're not harassing me the way I think you are, then find out a way to give me that money.
Cole, do you have a moment to talk? I have something I want to say about Devon and Kyrie.
You want to talk about them? Did something else happen between you guys?
Actually, just a little while ago, Kyrie was asking me to help fund their wedding for them. She asked that I give her $20,000 for it.
$20,000?
But I told her no because I planned to give her money as a gift for their wedding. That's when she blew up on me in a rage. Since then, I haven't been able to get anything from her because she continued to ignore me. I have even tried to talk with Yvonne about it, but even he is ignoring me.
So you've gotten into more trouble with them, huh, Mom?
Before those two got married, I have always thought of Kyrie as being a very quiet and refrained woman. But ever since they got married, she's changed just a slight bit.
She hasn't changed, Mom. I have always been having issues with that woman since the day Devin first introduced us.
What?
You're not the only one that's had some trouble with those two. Anytime I've met with Carrie, she always asks me why I'm not married yet. Then she'll go on about how she's heard that I've never had a girlfriend before and say that that's insane.
Kyrie has been saying all those sorts of things to you?
Devin was always such a good-looking man back in school and had all the women he ever wanted. And then after graduating from school, he was able to land that position as an executive director on the path to becoming a CEO. Carrie seems to think that means that I have achieved nothing compared to him and is always making fun of me for it.
What the hell's wrong with that woman? Why haven't you allowed that to happen to you, Cole?
I think she's picked that up from Devin himself. Ever since elementary school, he's always been making fun of me for being plain and not being so outgoing.
I don't find you to be plain, and you may not be as outgoing, but you think things through before acting and always get good results because of it. There are tons of amazing things about you that those two just can't see. Those two are unbelievable.
Thank you for saying that, Mom. I have become used to all of that, though, and things go a lot more smoothly for me now. Honestly, I think that a lot of things are more tough for you now. Does this mean that you're going to start paying for their wedding now?
Absolutely not! I would never pay for the wedding for a couple as horrible as they are. Especially when Kyrie has been such a jerk to the both of us. I actually seem to think me not paying for them has helped you and I out a lot by expanding the gap between us and them. If they seem to think it's acceptable to treat you and I like that, then I don't want anything to do with them.
Right. You would never suck up to someone as toxic as her. I want to know what she was even trying to do acting that way towards you. What was she trying to achieve there? Doesn't she know that the company Devin is working for currently is your company?
I wonder the same thing. I am not only the CEO of that company, but also Devon's boss. Her treating her husband's boss and mother like that is something I will never be able to understand. Should I punish him in order to make her understand?
Hold on there, Mom. I don't want to know what kind of wrath would unfold if you did something like that to those two.
Sorry. For the time being, I suppose the best thing to do would be stay away from those two. I'm sure that once their wedding is over with, Kyrie will calm down a bit and we can stop worrying about the sour attitude of hers. At least that's what I'm praying for right now. Kyrie, congratulations. That was a very beautiful wedding you had today.
Madison, thank you for contacting me at the perfect time. There was something that I totally forgot to tell you today at my wedding.
Oh, and what might that be?
Starting today, both Devon and I will be cutting ties to you. So please never ever talk to either one of us again.
What? What do you mean you're both cutting ties to me? Why would you even say that?
You actually went through with not helping us out in any way financially, so we had to come to this conclusion.
What?
You saw just how upset I became, yet you still didn't choose to give me any money. And when it just came to that gift you gave us, it was just $5,000. I have no desire to become closer to a cheapo grunge like you.
Excuse me?
I couldn't believe something like that happened. That was the wedding of your older son, and yet you cheaped out on it. Did you think we'd be thankful for a measly $5,000? We're not going to bother you anymore, and we for sure won't be letting you meet your grandchildren.
I told you months ago that I would not be paying for your guys' wedding. Yet now you're going to be cutting ties with me just because things didn't go the way you wanted them to be? And now you've just gone and called the $5,000 I gave you to be measly? You had no right saying something like that about a gift given to you.
Huh? No matter how I try to look at it, you put no effort or thought into that amount. I've seen Devon giving you way more money to help support you in your life, so don't cheap out on us when it was my wedding we were talking about.
Oh, what? Did you just say I've been getting money from Devon?
I know that right now you're getting a massive allowance from Devon. Every month you get close to $10,000 from him. Because of that, you've been able to spend every day of your life doing nothing besides relaxing, right? Yet, when it came to his wedding, the wedding of the man that makes your life sitting back relaxing possible, you showed no gratitude at all.
What?
You've been given that life of fortune by a young executive director. However, you chose to cheap out on him and his wedding, which I'll never be able to understand. I don't want to think of you as my mother-in-law anymore. All you are now is a filthy parasite.
Excuse me?
And that's why today we are both cutting ties to you. And when we have kids, we won't tell you a single thing about them. Parasites are not allowed to meet our children. Don't you ever come around us again, you crappy old hag. Then I'll make the next CEO my younger son. What? I never once thought that my own daughter-in-law would sort of call me a parasite of all things. If that's how you're going to talk about me, then we're done here. I don't have a daughter-in-law anymore. And I don't have 2 sons anymore since my older one decided to join you in wanting to cut ties with me. If you don't want me near you both anymore, then tell Devon to never come back to my company ever again. Your company? What? What the hell is this all about now? As the CEO, I'm going to make sure to relay all this information to the HR department. I will no longer allow Devon to work for me anymore. If you guys want to cut ties with me so badly, then you tell him to hurry up and get out of my company. He is no longer the executive director. What? What do you mean you're the CEO? That company Devon has been working on, he built with his friend, right? So how the hell could you all people be the CEO of it now? So that's the kind of lie Devon has been you believing. No wonder you were never respecting me the way I felt I should have been. What? Lie? Go ahead and ask for the truth from Devon himself. And please let him know that his mother calls him a dumbass now. And don't forget to tell him he's no longer working for me. I will be going now. You wanted this to happen, so don't ever talk to me again.
Hey, Mom. Why are you removing me from the position of executive director and having me fired? And now you're making Cole the next CEO? What kind of screw-up company are you trying to create now?
This company won't be screwed up because Cole happened to be very mature for his age. He's also happened to be more responsible than you, hence why he'll be the next CEO now. I won't ever give up my company to a son who thinks he can get away with calling his mother a parasite.
What?
Now, before I begin to tear you a new one, please explain yourself completely to me. Tell me what the hell this allowance of close $10,000 a month is that you've been telling Kyrie about.
That was,
And let's not forget your other lie about how the company I made was made by you and your friend. I have no idea at all what the hell you've been up to and why you lied about so many things. So let's start with you explaining everything to me.
I just really want to get that company. Because of you, I was being made to look like an idiot. That's why I made up some things to try and get Kari to not dig into me.
What are you talking about? Who has been the one making you look like an idiot?
You. And you've been making me look that way to all those freaks from middle school. For the longest time now, I've been having to run into them all at my class reunions. There was this one who was a total loser back in school who went and got promoted big time. And now he's going to become the CEO of that company, and I'm going to be destroyed by all of them freaks? What the hell have you done, Mom?
That's why you wanted to become the CEO so soon?
That's right. I could have become the CEO by now and showed all of them, but you still have not stepped down from your position yet. So for a while now, I've had to lie to Kari about everything. And I'm sure now that since she's gone and told you that she would cut ties to you now, you're freaking out on the inside. I thought that would be the case at least, and that you would give me the company in order to get her to not cut ties to you. That's why I asked her to say all those things to you.
Huh? So you're telling me you did all of that to Kyrie just because you felt you were getting picked on by all of the people you once picked on back in middle school?
Shut up! I need to get your company, so hurry up and just give it to me. That's all you have to do, yet now you're making things even worse by giving the company to Cole of all people. No freaking way this can be happening. I'm far better than that pile of trash. Good point. You are far better than me. And there happen to be plenty of people in this world who are way better than me. But the thing is, you may be better than me on paper, but in reality, I am far superior than you. Huh? Mom just gave me her phone in a fit of rage. I was wondering why she would be so upset, but then I had to look through everything you've been saying to her. Yo, Cole, are you really calling yourself better than me when all you are is a plain old loser? You've never even touched a girl before, and you barely have any friends. You really think some chump like you is better than me of all people? No damn way. I don't recall people caring that much about the amount of friends one has in the workplace. And the same goes for any kind of romantic relationship. I just want to become the CEO, and in that regard, I'm doing okay based off my accomplishment and my appeal to the rest of the employees and moms. And since things like that are what really matter, then there is no chance of you becoming the CEO. The only way you were able to find a job in the first place was by begging mom to have to force you in. What was that? The only reason you were ever able to even become the executive director is because mom hated hearing you whine and cry all the time. Luckily for myself though, I have a little bit of decency. And that's why I never whined about everything and just focused on bettering myself in order to get a job. And with all the accomplishments I've had, that's led me to become an executive director myself. Did you know that for some time now, I've been doing the same exact job as you before another company? What? A stinking freak like you? I hope this goes to show that it's not about touching women and having friends in this world. It's about being responsible and doing one's job well. Also, I have only ever been made fun of by you and Carrie. Everybody else respects me because of the goals I've and the ones I've so far accomplished. So please, don't worry about mom's company any longer because I've shown that I can take excellent care of it. Screw you! Mom's company is mine! Please don't talk about mom's company like it's some kind of toy. There are tons of people whose lives depend on working there and need to be taken seriously. They all go to that company every day to put in some honest work and get paid. Someone who could never understand that will never become a CEO. Shut the freak up, you dick! Who do you think you are talking back to your older brother like that? Do you want me to cut ties to you now? Jesus Christ, I can't seem to get through to you. If you want to cut ties to me, then please do so. It's not going to improve your chances of getting mom's company though.
So sorry about what happened yesterday. Could you please find some way to forgive me? I was lying to you about your son, okay? Devon brainwashed me into thinking you were the worst mother ever.
He brainwashed you, huh? I suppose some of this has to be blamed on his lies.
That's right. This is all his fault.
But was it him that was complaining all the time about me needing to give you both money for that wedding?
Huh?
Even if he was lying to you about me, does that excuse your behavior towards me? Like how you started to claim that I was harassing you by not giving you both any sort of funding for your guys' wedding. You were also the one calling that gift I gave you so measly. He may be to blame for lying to you, but in my mind, that does not excuse the way you behave towards me.
I was just really excited to have myself a really huge and luxurious wedding. I never actually meant it that way. I want to apologize for all of that, so please forgive me, please.
Now hold on there. You don't have to apologize for any of that. We already cut ties to one another, so there's no going back now.
What?
When you cut ties to me, you made me feel like a complete unwanted stranger. So you coming up to me now, asking for forgiveness and apologizing is only causing more trouble.
Wait, please. We don't have to cut ties to one another anymore, so let's get back to being really close to one another, Madison.
Excuse me?
You don't really want to cut ties to me, right? You have been so excited to see the face of your first grandbaby, right? So let's just forget all of the crap that happened before and call one another family again. That way, even you can be happy again, right?
I'd be even more upset if that happened. And that's why I'm totally content with having cut ties now.
What?
Cutting ties to someone can be easily reversed. And after what you said to me before, I don't think I can see you or Devon as family anymore. I'm ready to end this conversation right now and block you because of how little I care about you both now. So please forget about me. All I am to you now is just another random old lady.
Please don't say that kind of heartless stuff. Devon has even thought all of this over and learned his lesson. So please let your older son and his wife become close to you again. If you take back what you said about wanting to cut ties, we'd be happy to even live together with you and take care of you. To someone like you, Madison, there isn't anything else in this world that could make you happier than that, right?
I don't need you guys around me. Remember, I'm the CEO of a large company, and I have all the money I need to take care of myself as I age. I don't need some poor excuse of a wife like you around.
What?
Now that I've gotten that off my chest, give up. I've already finished all the paperwork stating that your husband is no longer employed by me. And alongside the paperwork, I have concluded everything needed to make sure that Nicole will become the next CEO.
No way.
I am doing everything that you asked for when treating me so horribly, so be grateful. Now you and your husband of yours will never need to come around me again. This crappy old hag has followed through with her promises to you, word for word.
I'm so freaking sorry, Madison. I want to apologize to you for the rest of my life, so please forgive the both of us. Don't fire the bomb, please.
He's already gone. Now goodbye. I hope the both of you can learn to live without your husband's side of the family from now on. In the end, I made sure that my older son Devon was completely removed from my company. After that, he went to his friend who ran a company of his own and started to yell at his friend to let him into this company since he used to be an executive director for my company. However, his friend knew better and told him no right on the spot because he could never let someone with such childish attitude into his company. So as of right now, Devon is sitting around at home doing nothing with his life because he can't get a job with his unnecessary high pride can deal with. As for Kyrie, she continued to light up my phone with message after message about how she was so sorry and wanted forgiveness. But I never looked at a single one of them up close and continued to ignore her. That's what cutting ties to someone is all about, and that's exactly what she was asking for from me. When it comes to my younger son, Cole, after being made the new executive director, he immediately began to show everyone why he was chosen by me to take the position. He even created a new department within my company, and that department took off in no time and made sure that my company ended the year with major profit. And that means going into this new year, we will be expecting far more resumes from all sorts of people, and we'll open up 100 new positions within the company. I like to think that Cole will become an even better CEO than me when he takes a seat, and I am ready to look forward to that day.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
Hey there, Kayla. Look, I wanted to say that I am sorry about what happened earlier today, but you have to look at things from my perspective. I had no idea that you were that old. I was so shocked when I found out that you were Carter's mom that, well, I guess I kinda said something that maybe I shouldn't have. If you think you were shocked, I'd like you to take a moment and consider how I felt. My son Carter brought you, his fiancé, over to my house so he could finally introduce the two of us. And when you walk in the door, what was the very first thing you said when you laid eyes on me? Well, do you remember, Miley? You shouted, quote, "Who the hell is that old woman in your living room, Carter?" I have never, in all my years, had someone speak in such a disrespectful manner to me. Not to mention, I have never allowed Carter to use profanity in my house, so your choice of verbiage was quite shocking as well. Yeah, my bad. I shouldn't have let that slip out. Ordinarily, my mental filter keeps my more honest thoughts locked up in my head. And, I mean, in my defense, when I first saw you, I thought that you looked like you were around the same age as my grandma. Is that right? I suppose I can't blame you too much for that. After all, I was 40 years old when I gave birth to Carter. It's not all that uncommon for women my age to have grandchildren already. Whoa, hold on. Am I reading this correctly? You were 40 years old when Carter was born? Are you serious? I'm not sure why you think I would joke around about the topic, but yes, I am serious. Boy, you know what? Now that you mention it, that does explain a lot. I always thought that Carter was a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me? I'm afraid I don't know what you're saying. Perhaps you'd be generous enough to clarify your meaning for me? Do I really need to spell it out for you? I thought it was common knowledge. The older a woman is, the greater the risk becomes that her kids are going to end up being defective in one way or another, right? I've thought for a long time now that there's something, I don't know, call it mysterious, I guess, about Carter. Like I said, he always seemed different. Now that I know how old you were when he was born, everything makes sense. He's got some kind of a disability due to being born to such an old woman. Miley, how could you talk about Carter that way? That man is your fiancé. He asked you to be his wife. He wants to spend the rest of his life with you. And you're going to accuse him of having a disability? Don't get me wrong, it's not really a bad thing. Carter is a really great guy. He's super nice to me. And not just me, he's super nice to everyone around him. But that's the thing that seems so weird about him. It's like, being a guy is one thing, but Carter is way beyond the level of just being a nice guy. He's too nice. Like, I don't think I've ever seen him get mad at anyone or about anything. I was worried, like, does he have some kind of emotional problems? Does he have cancer or something in the part of the brain where anger comes from? But now I know that you were crazy old when he was born. I can be pretty sure that it's not cancer. He just has a really old mom. Having an old mom means he's bound to have some sort of defect. And if not being angry is his defect, I guess there's worse problems he could have. I do not believe the way that you're speaking about Carter right now, Miley. Have you no shame? Do you not realize just how hideously cruel the things you're saying are? No, not really. I mean, what's the issue? I'm just calling it like I see it. The issue is that you're talking about my son as though he's a defective piece of merchandise. He is not an object for you to evaluate. He is a human being. He is the man who asked you to be his wife as well as my son. You think his kind and sweet nature is a defect? That's not a defect, that's simply him being a good person. Not only that, but you're blaming his supposed defect on my age at the time he was born? Today has been nothing but a string of horrible insults from you towards both my son and myself. Good grief, somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. What are you getting so angry at me for? I just identified the fact that he has a defect. I'm not saying I'm going to return him to the manufacturer. I still love him just as much. I accept Carter for who he is, and that includes all his defects. Aren't I something else? I doubt there are very many other women out there who would be as willing as me to take a defective man as my husband. You should be grateful that I agreed to marry him. That does it. I always told myself that I would do my best to accept the woman that my son chose as his wife, whether I agreed with his choice or not. It's his life, not mine. He has a right to have his choices respected. However, your heartless words and careless attitude today are simply too much for me to bear. Seriously, what's your problem, Kayla? Didn't you see that I'm still gonna marry him despite him being the defective product of an old woman? Oh, I think I know what this is. Your one and only son is getting married and you're jealous that he's gonna give another woman more attention than you. Jealousy? Is that what you think this is? Okay, so I'm gonna go now and let you deal with your jealousy issues by yourself. Thanks for lunch today. It was mediocre. The next time you have me over, I'd appreciate it if you could put a little more effort into the food, okay? And if that's too much for you, I wouldn't object to you ordering delivery. Bye-bye, mommy dearest.
Good evening, Carter. Do you have a moment? There's something important that I'd like to talk to you about.
Hey, Mom. What's up? Oh, is this about the wedding venue information packets I sent to you? Sorry, it must have been a pretty big package. Did you get a chance to look through them? Which one did you like?
I'm sorry, Carter, but this isn't about the wedding venue. It's a much more important issue than that. I'd like to talk about your marriage.
My marriage? I'm not really sure what you mean. But from the way you're talking, it sounds like it's a pretty heavy issue.
As your mother, I feel that you deserve to have my full support for your marriage, and that's why I've been holding back on saying some things to you. But I've given it some thought lately, and I just can't hide these feelings anymore. In the same way you deserve my support, you also deserve my honesty. I feel it would be for the best for you to reconsider getting married to Miley.
What? Holy cow, Mom! That is a massive bomb to drop on me right now. Okay, well, can you tell me why you're asking me to break up with my fiancé?
Do you remember the time, roughly a month ago, when you brought Miley to the house to introduce her to me? You know, when she was startled and called me an old woman?
Ah, yeah, I do remember that. I'm really sorry that Miley said something so insensitive to you, Mom. But it's partially my fault. I never told her that you were in your 40s when you had me. That was my bad for not preparing her. I had to talk with her about your attitude later on that day. I was firm in telling her never to speak to you like that again.
You did?
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm afraid it didn't work. She's continued to treat me exactly the same way ever since. Not only that, she's being outrageously disrespectful regarding my age when you were born.
Really? How so?
The same day you brought her by the house, she and I had a lengthy text conversation. She treated me like I was some sort of a fool for having a child at 40. And not only that, you were the subject of her insults, too. She told me that she thought you were, in her words, defective due to being born to such an old woman.
No way.
She said that she had always found your kind nature to be weird. Apparently she feels that your lack of anger is a defect. Ever since that day, I've been holding back on telling you about it. I thought that it wasn't my place to say something to make you question your decision to marry her, but I just couldn't hold it back anymore. It was one thing for her to belittle me, but another thing entirely for her to speak about you like she did.
Wow. I had no idea. Thank you for being honest with me, Mom. And it must have been difficult for you to breach that topic with me. Now that you mention it, I thought that she's been acting different around me than she did before. Now that I know what the two of you have been talking about, I think I understand what's going on.
Oh, would you mind telling me more?
You said she was using the word defect, right? That actually made me remember a bizarre conversation we had a few weeks ago. One day, she suddenly came up to me and threw a massive stack of papers on my lap. I asked her what it was, and she said she went to the OBGYN and got tested, and everything came up clean. I thought that was reassuring, but she had this weird, almost defiant look on her face. The next thing she said was, "This means that if we have a defective kid, it's your fault."
Goodness gracious. I'd like to say I'm shocked, but after the conversations we've had, I'm afraid nothing is shocking anymore. I could understand if she simply took those tests to reassure you before your marriage, but how could she even think about saying such a thing to you? I told her this same thing when we were talking a month ago, but she's treating you like you're defective merchandise. Not only that, the only reason she's acting this way is because I was 40 when I gave birth to you.
Yeah, I wasn't very thrilled when she said that to me. Even less now that I know why. To be honest, it hurts. It hurts a lot.
Won't you reconsider, Carter? Do you really want to marry a girl like her? It would be wise for you to take some time to think about this.
Sorry, Mom. But I've already thought about this enough. My decision stands. I love Miley and I want to marry her.
Carter...
Like I said, I should have told her about the circumstances of my birth. It's only natural for her to react this way after finding out so late in the game. That's on me and me alone. I'm sorry that my irresponsibility resulted in your feelings getting hurt, Mom.
You don't have anything to apologize for, Carter.
We've already met each other's families. The wedding has already been planned and we've sent out an invitation. It's too late for me to turn back now. Now, that's not to say I'm excusing the way Miley has been acting towards us. It looks like the talk we had earlier wasn't enough. I'm going to sit down with her again one of these days and have another conversation. I'll see to it that she stops, so please, won't you accept our relationship?
It seems that you truly do care about her. All right, Carter, if that's your decision, then I'll respect it. I'm sorry for bringing the topic up to you. It wasn't my place to question your choice of a wife. I'll be praying that the two of you can go on to become as happy of a couple as you deserve.
Thank you, Mom. I don't feel bad. I'm glad that you care enough about me, to be honest. I'm sure that we'll have all this cleared up by the wedding. There'll be nothing in the way of celebrating the beginning of our new life together.
I certainly hope so. I'm very excited for your wedding, Carter. I'll let you go now. See you soon, dear. Kayla? Where in the world are you right now? Aren't you coming? Coming to what, may I ask? You actually forgot? No way. Today's our wedding, Kayla. Wait, your wedding was today? Oh my God, you really did forget. I should have known you would forget. You're clearly going through the early stages of dementia. There's no other way you would possibly forget something as important as your own son's wedding. I do not have dementia, you impudent girl. That's exactly what someone with dementia would say. Oh boy, this is gonna mean a lot of trouble for us now. Am I really gonna have to deal with your dementia from the very day of our wedding? I thought we had a few months left before you started going senile. Enough of this nonsense. What's this about your wedding being today? That's impossible, though. I'm holding the invitation you sent me in my hand right now. The date on this card is for next week, not today. Yeah, and so what? That doesn't change anything. Our real wedding date is today, and you, the mother of the groom, are not in attendance, just as I planned. I don't believe this. You did this on purpose? You wanted me to miss the wedding, so you sent me this fake wedding invitation? Oh, how could you do this to me? Just wait until I tell the family about this. Don't waste your time. Nothing you tell them is gonna do you any good once I'm through with them. After all, you're freaking ancient. All I have to do is go around to all my relatives and yours and tell them that I called you, but you didn't take your dementia pills yesterday. Then when you woke up this morning, your brain was in such a fog that you completely forgot about the wedding. So you can try and tell them that your mean old daughter-in-law tricked you with a fake invitation, but no one is gonna believe you. They'll never believe you. Yeah, they will. And so will your precious little son. If his mother is in such an advanced stage of dementia that she forgot about our wedding, it'll be a piece of cake to get him to throw you in a nursing home ASAP. Well, Kayla, what do you think? Was this not the most perfect plan you've ever seen?
Miley, I don't understand. Why would you do this to me? What's in it for you? I have no clue what benefit you would possibly gain from causing me to miss your wedding.
Isn't it obvious? I just want to be able to enjoy my newlywed life without any unwanted interruptions.
Interruptions?
You know, sudden visits from my in-laws, unwanted dinner invitations, boring family celebrations. I hate that sort of thing. I knew I'd have to get rid of you right away, or else I'd be doomed to a life of living under the thumb of my obnoxious mother-in-law. So I made you that fake invitation. Now all that's left is for me to convince the family that you're senile and no one will put up any resistance at all to institutionalizing you. And once I've locked you away in some old folks' home halfway across the state, we'll be able to have that beautiful house of yours all to ourselves.
All this time, I thought your maliciousness was limited to simple insensitivity. But now I find out that you've been planning to have me locked up so you could take my house? I underestimated you, Miley. You are pure evil.
You can think whatever you want of me, Kayla. Actually, it would be great if you could go around complaining about your evil daughter-in-law's conspiracy against you. That will convince them that you're senile for sure. Oh dear, would you look at the time? The wedding is going to start in a half hour, but you live a 3-hour drive away from the venue. I guess you'll never be able to make it in time now, huh?
No. That's why you selected that venue? It was all a part of your plan? I thought it was odd that you picked one so far away when there are nicer ones closer to the city.
I couldn't afford to leave anything to chance. Well then, if you'll excuse me, I need to go to the other guests and explain why the family matriarch will not be joining us this fine day.
While you're at it, tell them that Carter won't be coming either.
What? What do you mean?
I mean that my son Carter is here at my house with me right now. So do me a favor and tell them that neither the family matriarch nor the groom will be in attendance today.
But why?
Because the wedding is canceled. Your engagement to my son is canceled as well.
You're lying. There's no way Carter's there with you. You're the only one I sent a fake invitation to. Carter knows that the wedding is today.
You are absolutely right, Miley. Carter does know that the wedding is today. I know that because he's the one who told me the true date of the wedding.
Wait, he told you the real wedding date?
Oh no.
You mean you knew? You knew that the invitation I sent you was fake?
Indeed I did.
No, why would he do that?
The truth is, I've been having some discussions regarding you and your behavior with a friend of mine for some time now. She was shocked by the utter contempt you have for me, as anyone with a healthy moral consciousness would. One day she said to me, "That Miley seems like she hates your guts, Kayla. Are you sure she even wants you to come to the wedding?" That's when it hit me. No, you obviously don't want me coming. And given your behavior thus far, I was sure you wouldn't hesitate to use any dirty, underhanded tactics to keep me away.
So, on a whim, I showed Carter the invitation I received to make sure everything was right. I can't believe it. I thought my plan was foolproof. It seems like you underestimated just how much of a fool you really are. Oh, this can't be happening. But what's up with Carter then? If he knows that the wedding is today, why isn't he here?
Weren't you paying any attention to what my mom was telling you? I'm not coming because I don't want to.
Huh? Wait, Carter, is that you? What are you doing over there with your mom? Our wedding is about to start.
No, it's not, you idiot. It's canceled. The wedding is off.
What?
I have never been more disappointed in my entire life, Miley. I told you time after time to stop mocking my mom about her age. But not only didn't you heed my warnings, you gave her a fake invitation to make sure she missed the wedding. I didn't confront you right away when I found out, though. Do you know why that is?
Because you love me?
I'd say the past tense would be more appropriate, but yes. I loved you and trusted you. I was sure that you would apologize to my mom and correct your mistake. But you didn't. That's why I'm here with my mom.
But you told me you were here. You said you headed to the venue early to get ready, and just a while ago you said you were putting on your tuxedo. What is going on?
Isn't it obvious? I was lying. This makes us even, I'd say. You lied to my mom about the date, and I lied to you about being there.
How can you be joking around at a time like this? Our wedding is starting in just a few minutes. How can we have a wedding if the groom isn't here?
Good question. Here's another one. How can you have a wedding if the mother of the groom isn't there? And for the last time, wake up already. The wedding is off. I'm breaking up with you.
No!
What's the matter? I thought you'd be happier this way. Now you don't have to live the rest of your life with a defective husband and his mold mother. I mean, wouldn't you be afraid of having a kid just as defective as I am?
Carter.
Oh, and one more thing. You're wrong about me. I most certainly do have the ability to get angry. I'm the angriest right now that I've ever been. And how can you blame me? The woman I was set to pledge my eternal love to clearly despises me and my mother.
Carter, I'm so sorry. It's just, I don't know anyone else like you. I mean, having a baby at 40? That's just crazy. I was shocked. I didn't know how to handle it. It's not that I despise you or your mom.
You were shocked, huh? So shocked that you made a fake invitation just to make my mom miss our wedding? So shocked that you cooked up a scheme to convince her family that she was senile? Is that what you do when you're shocked?
I can explain.
You don't need to explain. I know your type. You're not the first person to mock my mom for her age. Back when I was in elementary school, all the other kids already told me my mom was really my grandma, and that my real mom was dead. Do you have any idea how much that hurt me? But my mom never let it get to her. She raised me with all the love and care that a mother can possibly give.
Carter, I am so sorry. I've done something absolutely terrible to you. I'm willing to do whatever you want to make amends. I mean it.
Is that so? You'll do anything I want?
Yes, you name it.
Okay. Never speak to me again.
Carter, please.
Go right now and tell the venue staff that the wedding is off. Now, you'll excuse me. I need to talk to a lawyer.
Kayla, I don't know what to do. Carter's never been this angry at me before. Nothing I say to him is working. He still wants to break up with me. You shouldn't have mistaken Carter's kindness for weakness. Just because he's a gentle soul doesn't mean he's a pushover. I tried going to everyone else, my friends, even my parents. But they all keep telling me that I'm only getting what I deserve. And they're exactly right. Look, I don't blame you for being angry at me, but please, can't you do something to get Carter to forgive me? I love him. Do you know what love is, Miley? Love means to will the good of the other. So if you love Carter, you'll want what's best for him, and what's best for him is to break up with you. But what? Carter says he wants to break up with you. If you really love him, you'll give him what he wants. You're making a big mistake. I am? Well, you're old. If you don't help me get back together with Carter, you might never live to see him get married, much less have grandchildren. Don't you want to be able to see your own grandchildren before the dementia takes over and you can't even remember your own son's name? And who's going to take care of you when you get too old to take care of yourself, if not me?
I would rather Carter drop me off in the middle of the woods on a winter night than leave me in your care. Besides, I'm as healthy as a horse. I've still got decades of life ahead of me.
At your age?
Yes, at my age, I've lived a healthier life than nearly everyone you know, I'd wager. I eat only organic food, nothing processed, and I make all my cooking from scratch. I also lift weights 3 times a week and run a mile every morning.
What are you, some kind of superwoman?
I'll tell you what, Miley, how about we make a little wager? If you can beat me in a 100-yard sprint, I'll encourage Carter to take you back. If I beat you, you'll leave town and never return. Well, what do you say?
I'll pass.
That's what I thought. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm running late for my appointment with my personal trainer. Good luck dealing with Carter's lawyer, Miley. The reason Carter consulted with a lawyer was to find a way to force Miley to pay for the wedding cancellation fees. The settlement they reached was that in exchange for Carter not suing her for harassing me, that she would be held responsible for the full cost of the wedding. Her parents refused to help her at all, so she'll have to come up with the full amount by herself. As for Carter, I'm not at all concerned about him finding love. With his impeccable personality and the good looks he inherited from his father, I'm sure he'll find a proper wife for himself in no time. As a matter of fact, one of my friends heard about his breakup through the grapevine and asked me to introduce her daughter to him. Looks like I may not have to wait too long to meet my grandchildren after all.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.